All right, there we go. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. We're here on Mindset Monday. Glad to see you here. I am going to ask you today to be your own personal advocate. We need to advocate for ourselves and love on ourselves and praise ourselves, because sometimes we just don't get the praise from those around us, or the congratulations, or, sometimes it's just not there. They just don't know, or they don't get it. Or, sometimes we unconsciously kind of feel like, gee, they should kind of know that this is going on for me, and they should just be automatically, no, because they don't. They just don't. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. If you're here watching me today, good job. You know what happens when we pat ourselves on the back? We have an automatic conditioned response to that. So when somebody growing up, right, there was most likely a pat on the back somewhere, and the endorphins and all those good feeling hormones get released from the brain, and we feel good. So there's just an automatic response to good job. So we're getting some laughter out there. Yes, but it's true. So good job for being here and for showing up. And you can give yourself on the pat on the back for a job well done, because let's face it, most of the time there's nobody around when we did that good job, and we just keep on going on, and we just kind of need that little praise. Good job. So one of the things I'd like to talk to you about today is, here we are in this group, in my coaching group, that we work with the unconscious mind, and, we think that we are in control. And this kind of came up in a breakthrough session this morning for me, so I'm bringing it into the call today. We're not. If you're in here doing the work with me, you're more in control than most people. That's true. But the unconscious mind is in the driver's seat until we become aware. When we become aware, then we can consciously catch the things that are on automatic pilot for us. We can catch the stories, right? Because we're all living our stories. We all have stories, and the stories come up, and, oh, you're not good enough to do that. And, oh, she's too pretty, and or you can't approach her. And, all those silly stories that come up that, I'm not worthy, or I don't know how to do that. I'm just going to, that's for other people, not for me. Those are just stories. I want you just to start becoming aware, because that's the first step. And I want you to just ask, is that really true? Listen to the story. Ask that little part of you, that aspect of you that's throwing up that story from your unconscious mind. It's like, gee, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. And figure that out. It might go silent because, uh-oh, she's listening. Uh-oh. Conscious mind heard me. Oh no, I've been found out. It sounds funny, but it's true. And it will probably clam up until you start to take the steps toward what it is that you truly want to create in your life. And then it's going to throw up some more stories. And then wait a minute. Tell me about that. What's that about? Now, what I don't want you to do, and I heard this in a breakthrough call by another coach in a different, they don't do recode. They're in a completely different field, coach to coaches, in a whole different modality, et cetera, et cetera. So I heard come up that the client said, oh, I need to go figure out where that limiting belief came from. And this very famous, highly paid coach did not say anything about that. She just let that go. And I'm like, no, that's a total waste of time. The unconscious mind has that memory, and that memory could be pre-birth. It could be in the womb. It could be it could be it is most likely between the ages of 0 and 7 years. It's most likely not something that person could go back and figure out. And what good would that do? All right. When I was 2.5 years old, this thing was said to me, and do you see where I'm going with that? Yeah, your conscious mind is not going to know what to do with that. It's not going to know where to find it. It's locked up in the unconscious mind if the unconscious mind wants to give it up. But in the recode, we can go back and find that. We don't have to know where it is. Your unconscious, your superconscious, they know where that is. And the superconscious will go find it. It will recode it, rewire it for you. And then, getting the conscious mind involved in that is a misuse of your energy and your time, because that woman, unfortunately, is going to go through around circles trying to figure out where that came from when she can just recode it and let it go. Let her superconscious mind take care of that. But that's why I love this modality so much, of working with the superconscious. And if you're new to this, basically looking at your superconscious blueprint that you were born with, all those beliefs that were downloaded through your long line of that whole generational line, and then all of the beliefs that from the womb, because we know that in the womb we received lots of input. There was a lot of stimulus, a lot of things going on while we're in the womb that affected us positively and negatively. I mean, my mom, I'm an adopted kid, so I'd imagine that being an unwanted pregnancy, my biological mother probably had a real hard time, and she was feeding all of those chemicals, those negative chemicals, to me in her womb as a baby. I was just absorbing all of that. There are no filters as a baby until, there are no filters up until about the age of 7. So all of that incoming information was just absorbed like a sponge. And it got locked up in the body. It got locked up in the mind, in the unconscious mind. And it became this whole life of its own of protecting you from that young age, from things that were said, things that were done, what you made them mean. This is how all of your programming took place, along with the cellular memory, right? Cellular memory coming through from past generations. And, right now, this war going on, the pandemic's going on, all these things are going on, right? Scarcity, my adoptive parents went through the Depression. And I can tell you that my biological grandparents would have lived through that, right? They've all lived through our family line. Our bodies are ancient. The cells, I know you don't like me saying that, but the cells are ancient. They have come from an original source way many eons ago, and multiplied and joined with other cells, and they have their cell memory. And so these memories get triggered with things that are going on around us. Whew. So that being said, being aware is so important. Step number 1. And then step number 2, asking, is this true? Is this really true? Is this story true or false? Call out the story. Call yourself out on the stories you're telling yourself, because you're telling yourself that. And then number 3, I like you to get back into that safe place. You have an anchor. If you've gone through one-on-one, if you've come into my group, you were given an anchor for safety. It's probably on your wrist, depending on what we're working on. But go back into your safety place. Get your body in a safe place. I was talking to a client, had a really big, great breakthrough. The thought really does come first, but it's so fast that you don't catch it. So he was letting me know that his body was going into this hyper alert state. And okay, ding, ding, ding for me, because for me, that's going on red alert, which is actually probably not the right term to call it. It's the fight or flight gets engaged, fight, flight, or freeze gets engaged, right? And it can be a microsecond thought, but boom, the body's reacting, and now you're all in it. And the stories are flying. Stories are flying based on this discomfort, this dis-ease that you are feeling in your body for whatever that stimulus is, right? In this case, it was about, social anxiety. We get this when we have to speak, when we have to maybe get up and when I have to go online and talk to you guys. I'm a little over it now. After, and that's another thing, is that you get used to things that the more you do them, right? I've done hundreds and hundreds of these calls, and it's not a big deal anymore. But I can tell you, when I first, way back when I became a teacher, I was like, wow, how am I going to talk in front of these students? But you calm your body down. It's like, I'm okay, keep going. And it just becomes old hat, as they say. It just becomes natural. So a lot of it's just practice, and getting that body, I brought up the body because the body is so involved in what we're doing. It really is. And it can throw up, because it has body memory, and it has, all this information that the unconscious mind has. And sometimes it's like, I'm afraid of that. Body doesn't want to go there. It won't take you there. And so it shuts you back down again. So these are the things that we recode when we're working with the unconscious mind. And the body is not going to do it that way. We can't start with we can get the body into a calm state, but the body's not going to rewire this thing, because the body is just reacting, trying to stay alive. And the unconscious mind is involved in that with all the other processes going on. That is also trying to, its main purpose is to keep your body alive, keep you alive in the body. And it doesn't matter. The unconscious mind doesn't care if it's a good experience or bad experience. It's just an experience. It doesn't care. Superconscious doesn't care either. You're having an experience, good or bad, doesn't exist. We label things good or bad. It's us. There's no such thing. It's just what we're making of it. And something that's bad for me is good for somebody else. It's not universal. It's just not. So being aware, conscious aware, and allowing that conscious mind to come in and say, you know what, I am in the driver's seat here. Take back the steering wheel. Call those lies out, the stories out for what they are. Not true. That's not me. Not going that way. And calm the body and just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Recoding what's coming up. Recoding what's coming up. That's what we do. We rewire that. Calm the body, calm the unconscious mind down, let it know that it's safe, and you can keep taking those steps toward your true choice, which is a life you love. That's all there is to it. So that's my 2 cents for the day and for the week. And I hope that that some of that made real sense to you, that you're able to really connect with that. I can take control. Yeah, the unconscious mind has been keeping me playing small because it's scared of something from the past happening again, because that's all that it operates on. It's only operating on the past. And as we move into our future, we're just bringing the past forward. Those past fears are keeping us from the fun and the joy and the creations that we're wanting as adults. Because that little child got scared a long time ago, and it put all this protection on to keep you safe. And it's not serving you anymore. It had a reason, it had a purpose. It's not serving anymore. So really good for today. Thank you so much. Go have a magnetic day, a magnetic week, and let me know how I can help you in any way. You contact me, private message me, however that is. Great to be with you, and go have a fabulous week. Bye for now.